What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York, first day at Sonic Temple, and we are invading Columbus, Ohio. And today we are here with the comedian Shapel Lacey. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
This is our first festival we're covering, and you're the first comedian that we're hosting. So.
And this is my first time doing a festival.
Wow.
Yeah,
Congrats.
I know.
Yeah.
First time for everything here.
Yeah. Was it just as chaotic to get in as it?
No, I mean, no, everything's been so smooth and so cool right now. Like, I'm just looking around like I can't stop smiling.
Yeah, right? I mean, full day of metal.
Yeah.
And,
and then be able to do comedy with it. Oh, yeah, this is my world.
Can't go wrong with that. You know, it's funny because there's a lot of comedians who, like, bridge the idea of heavy metal and comedy, like Craig Gass or Don Jamieson, Jim Florentine. Like, does metal influence your comedy at all, or?
You know, I would say more punk. Just because of that, like, that attitude.
Of course.
You know, it's like, different attitudes, but like same kind of fucking, force, if you will.
Yeah.
But punk like just has this like this bad like, rebellious attitude to it, and I'm kind of just like, whatever on stage, and not saying I'm vulgar or anything. I just say it, man.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because whether it's punk rock or hardcore or metal, we have like this reputation of being serious, angry people. And punk rock is very politically driven and doesn't mess around. So how did punk, like a very serious form of music, influence you as a comedian?
The whole DIY movement.
Oh, you can't go wrong with
that.
Yeah,
just basically taking that whole aspect of do it yourself and applying that to comedy. I was just like, oh, yeah, you can use DIY for anything. So then I just took it and was just like, started just working my ass off with it. And, look where I'm at now. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, doing a big-ass rock festival right now. So it's like, it's really cool, man. But, yeah, that's pretty much like where the influence came from, and just that whole DIY drive.
Yeah. I wouldn't say you should do DIY for everything. Like, if somebody was doing a DIY, like, airplane building service, I would not feel comfortable flying that plane.
Yeah, it doesn't, not everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Individually, DIY is good.
Now, as a comedian, do you prepare, like, an entire skit for when you're about to go on stage, or is there, like, a lot of improvising involved?
I usually just, like, kind of, like, riff and improvise up top just to kind of get a feel of the room, just say, some quick things, whatever I, notice like immediately is usually how I like, can gauge the audience, and then I know how to deliver my jokes to this audience.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like, cause every audience is like different, so, and like the way I say this joke isn't going to resonate the same way if I say it the same way to another like audience, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Does your comedy routine come from at all like a personal, like are you looking inward?
All personal. Yeah.
Oh, it's all personal. So are you ever like looking at outward, like
some
funny shit on TV, man?
Like, I haven't owned a TV since 2011, to be honest.
Good for you.
But I would say it's hard. I don't know. I just don't pay a lot of attention to like a lot of like outside things like that too heavy, just because I always try to work on bettering myself as a person, and a lot of times like a lot of shit can distract you from that. So like I just do like all my like most of my stuff my material and stuff like that is all through my journaling. Like I'm not necessarily like writing it, and all of a sudden I just deliver that on stage, and because when I journal it comes from an authentic place. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And the thing with comedy is you want to be authentic on stage, so that's where I push out to the crowd.
Absolutely. There's some comedians where they're in a certain character when they're on stage, but it's coming from you. I mean, that's got to make it more raw and more organic.
Even with that, I always tell people, like, even if you're like a one-liner comic, as long as you're giving a big sense of you, it's gonna work. But if people can tell when you're just like doing something, it's like, they're like, oh, that's not you. They can just tell. But like when you bring the authenticity from yourself to that those one-liner jokes, people are gonna ride with that, man, because they get you. They're like, oh, of course that guy would say that. Of course she would say that. You know what I mean? That's I don't know. That's just how I think of it.
Yeah. You're at a metal festival right now. So
Yeah.
Is there any changes in your comedy routine maybe to adjust to the metal audience?
I've done a lot of metal audiences before and stuff like that. Like at one time I opened for Steve-O. He has a pretty big rocking audience, and so what I say I can pretty much do for metal.
Awesome.
So
before we go, I'd like to thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Is there just anything else coming up in terms of shows that you would like to promote? This will be uploaded shortly after the festival.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm on the Comedy Tent at 7:25, right before Tom Morello. Hey, Tom.
Punk rock and him. Oh my God.
Exactly. And Henry Rollins. Hey, Henry. And just I would love everybody to follow me on my social media platforms at Shapel Lacey, SHAPELLACEY. That's all my social media. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Everybody, Shapel Lacey at Sonic Temple. This is Alex from Heavy New York, invading Columbus, Ohio for Sonic Temple. We'll see you next time on Heavy New York.